I'm so confident. It's been a minute. It's been a while, but I'm back with maybe my most requested video. I'm gonna show y'all how to use the controller mouse like how I do. Now, there are other ways that you can do it, but this video specifically just to show you how I do it, my setup. Let's get started. First, there are a couple of things you're gonna need to get this to work. It's not as easy as just plugging in whatever you have, just jumping into a game and playing this way. I'm gonna have links to all the stuff in the description. It's all pretty inexpensive. That's with an asterisk, but I'll get to that. First up, we got the Wii U Pro controller. Now, you can get this on Amazon. It won't be a first party official Wii U Pro controller. It'll be the third party. From what I hear, they all work the same. They just don't have the insane battery life that the original Wii U Pro controller has. You're also going to need a way to connect that controller to your PC. Now, I use the Magic NS wireless converter. I originally used it to connect my controller to my Switch, but it's also used to connect to your PC. You can get the Magic NS 1 or 2. They both work the same. I have them both. Now, remember that asterisk I was talking about? That's for your mouse. Now, my setup, I use a mouse that has extra buttons on the right side, an ambidex mouse. This is the Razer Viper Ultimate. This is about $120. But if you don't want to spend that much money on a mouse, I will suggest the SteelSeries Sensei mice. They have wireless versions and they have wired versions, and they're a lot cheaper than this one. And last, you're going to need the program that you're going to use to map keyboard keys to your controller. I use Joy-to-Key. You can use whichever one you want, but in this video, I'm going to be showing Joy-to-Key. Here's a quick rundown of how it all works. We're using a D-input controller and we're going to map keyboard keys to it. That will make it so that our input is just keyboard and mouse. There's going to be no controller input when we set it up this way. Now, this works because D-input is an input API that developers, they don't use it anymore. All the new developers, all the new games, now they all use X-input API. That's like your standard Xbox controller. There are some new games that use D-input, especially in like the alpha phase, and there's not much we can do about that. But I have not come across any games nowadays that I want to play that uses D-input, so it usually works. Now, I know there are some people out there thinking and that are gonna comment,
but what about the aim assist? Will you get that?
The answer is no. As I said before, our input is gonna be keyboard and mouse. Just think of this as a very small, compact, controller-shaped keyboard. Or rather, that's what it will be after we're done setting this up. Hey, how you doing? You enjoying yourself? You informed? Consider a like. Consider a subscribe. Now back to the video. All right, let's get started. Let's connect the controller to the PC. First, you want to plug the Mayflash controller into the computer. Easy enough. Next, short press the sync button on the receiver twice. After that, you should see the light on the receiver blinking rapidly. Then just press the sync button on your Wii U Pro controller. Now they should be paired. What we have to do now is make sure the receiver is set to D input mode. Press and hold the sync button on the receiver to change the mode. Keep changing the mode until it matches the D input label that's on the receiver. All right, now we're ready to map. Let's open Joy-to-Key. Here you see all of the profiles of games that I've tried or games that I play, but I made a new profile here just to start blank. Now, sometimes your joystick might not be picked up. All you gotta do is go to options over here. It'll say 0 joysticks detected. Just hit refresh. There's some other things you might want to do just to make the experience a little smoother. Come down here to show hide button and then make sure show all axes is selected. That just makes it so that you have more things to map to. Also, you want to come down to input processing threshold for input. This is basically your dead zone. I set mine to 43. That just feels comfortable to me. You can play around with whichever percent that you want, or you can just use the 43. Now, it's two ways that you can go about binding. You could just set this up and then pick random keys that you want for all of this. And then you go into the game and then remap all of the default keys in the game. Or you can make it so that this binding matches the game that you play. So like this would be A-D, it would just be W-A-S-D. And I would prefer to do it this way. It will take longer to do, but it's a lot cleaner. And when you want to switch games, it's a lot easier to edit when you duplicate it to a new profile. So that's it. Now it's up to you. This is a new way of playing. I suggest picking binds that are specific to you, that are comfortable for you. I do suggest that you start out with your main game and then duplicate that for other games so that you can tweak it and edit it easily. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I'll see you next time.